Hey, I made it to Wellness Wednesday. Oh my gosh. You guys, I have been having major difficulties because Mama Rose in Ghana, as you guys know, and I got passed the baton to StreamYards. The first week, I thought I was on here with you. I did. And I did a whole Wellness Wednesdays. I was down by the water hole and everything. I showed you how to get the water. We talked to somebody on camera. And then I looked and I was like, it didn't record not a damn thing. It didn't record nothing. Then the second week, I just didn't have internet because I am here in Dominican Republic and I was on a bus with, well, I had Wi-Fi and I thought the Wi-Fi would carry me to you, but it did not. So I'm so grateful to make it to Wellness Wednesdays with you today because Lord, it's been a long time coming for Wellness Wednesdays. Are you excited? I'm so excited. So thank you so much for joining me for Wellness Wednesdays today. I want to talk about resistance. Ooh, ooh. Have you had resistance with anything lately? Type it in the chat, let me know. Say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from. Have you had resistance with anything lately? I want to talk about resistance because we find that we have resistance in so many different ways. It can come up in fear. It can come up in procrastination. It could come up in tantrums. I would say tantrums. I don't know why. Anyway, but we can find resistance in so many things in life. And so I want to talk about resistance because, first and foremost, resistance is natural. And we're going to talk about what resistance is on a brain level and how we can overcome it. So, it's normal to have resistance, first of all. If you have resistance, then you're normal. Everyone has resistance. I have resistance. I have been in a season of resistance. But one thing that I wanted to talk about it because I have been able to step back from my resistance and really see what's going on. And every time I lean into the resistance, I find a breakthrough. And so I feel like a lot of the times when we feel resistance, we run away from it. We try to make it smaller than what it is. We try to comfort it with other things. But if we start to lean into the resistance, this is where we find our power. This is where we find our breakthrough. So, what have you been resisting lately? Tell me. Put it in the chat. Let me know where has resistance been coming up for you in your life? Is it relationships? Is it a new job? Is it a new project? Where have you been seeing resistance in your life? Tell me. I want to know. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and type it in the comments. I do actually come back and read the comments, which is dope. But I want to know, where have you been seeing resistance in your life? I'm going to let you know. Right now, I am putting on the first ever Black Entrepreneur Health Summit. And baby, when I say the resistance is real, okay? Let's talk about what resistance is in your brain. Now, as you may know or may not know, my name is Cherette. I am a holistic health coach. Now, what I do is I help Black entrepreneurs tap into the language of their brain so that they can create generational health. And the reason why I do it in this way is because I am a neuromuscular therapist. All right. So the brain is very important to me because I learned originally with body work, I learned body work through the brain. And if you understand the brain, then you have a one up on life because this is like the motherboard of being a human, and very little people understand how it works. But if you can understand how the brain works, then it's like a cheat code for this game we call life, okay? Because this is a magnificent tool, and if you can tweak it in ways that are appropriate for you in your situation right now, I'm telling you, you're winning at the game. It's a cheat code. So, this is why I work with my clients to tap into the language of the brain so that we can understand how to use our motherboard. All right. So, I say all this to say, what is resistance in the brain? The job of your brain is to keep you safe. All right. Safety is very important to your brain. The reason why is because your nervous system is a big part of how your brain works. And in your nervous system, when it's in a state of safety, it's able to relax more, it's able to be more creative. Your nervous system's able to create more, it's able to produce more. Things start to flow when your nervous system is safe and it feels secure. So your brain is like, I'm trying to get there. All right. So in your nervous system, your brain's like, I need to be safe. And in order for me to be safe, to do what I need to do in life, to make up this new whatever, write a book, to make a meal that I never made, to be not strangling these kids, anything, your brain needs to feel safe. When your brain doesn't feel safe, it can show up different in a lot of people. But a lot of us are stuck in trauma responses. So when we don't feel safe and we feel danger, we actually go to our trauma response, which most of us are in fight, flight, freeze, or flop. I need to do I need to write this down because I always say this. I always mention things on the broadcast and I'm like, "Oh, I need to come back to this and talk about this on Wellness Wednesdays," and I never do it. So, I am going to my handy dandy Wellness Wednesdays um topic list and putting this down, trauma responses. All right, because that's a whole nother broadcast, but I just wrote it down and I'm going to come back to trauma responses. They're so important. But I don't want to get into it. You know, we have 30 minutes and I could talk about trauma responses for like 2 hours. Okay. So when your brain feels danger, it goes straight to your trauma response a lot of the times if you're stuck into it. And that brings your nervous system up to a rev state. Now, when you are experiencing stress and anxiety, crazy enough, your nervous system cannot digest or feel pleasure. So here is why your brain tries to keep you safe, because in order for your body to actually function correctly, in order for you to digest food, to feel pleasure, to function, you have to feel safe in your brain. So I say all that to say resistance is your brain getting into something new and pulling you back. Like, whoa, B, we don't need you to feel like this right now because we got to go make this new meal. We got to go deal with the kids. We got to go do this. So your brain is pulling you back. And all of the pullback from you doing the new thing to your brain pulling you back and being safe, this is the resistance. Okay. So resistance is normal. And anytime you do something, okay, anytime you do something new and it's unknown, you're pretty much going to feel resistance. And it's a good thing. It's your brain keeping you safe. I gotta get some water. Ooh, I got these big old jugs because I don't have my water thing. Mm, mm. I'm way more thirsty than I thought. You drink some water too. All right. So that's what the resistance is in your brain. Your brain likes to go through trial and error and find the solution. Once the solution is found, every time you come across this perceived problem, your brain likes to go to safety, which is the solution. So the resistance is the space in between you feeling safe, you doing something new and you feeling safe, right? So in a lot of sense, having resistance is very beneficial because, for instance, if you're out in the wild, right, and you're getting chased by a lion, right, probably right before you get chased by the lion, if you hear something in the wild or something happens, a lot of the times, like you hear it and everything goes up, your attention goes up, and you feel resistance. So, resistance is actually there to keep us from dying, but we live in a new society. Our nervous system is on the system of our ancestors, right? Where they were in the wild, they were building stuff. Now we don't have to worry about getting chased by lions in the jungle, but our nervous system doesn't know that. So just like if you were out in the jungle, right, and you heard a lion, how your antennas would go up, you would feel resistance, and in this moment you'd be like, whoa. The same thing happens when you make a goal, right? Like, say you're like, oh, I'm going to make $10,000 a month, right? You get that same exact resistance as if you were being chased down in the jungle by a lion. And so here is why we have to learn how to deal with, well, I don't want to say deal with, because sometimes I feel like when you say deal with something, that minimizes it. And I don't want to minimize your resistance because it's there for a reason and it's actually there, right? So I don't want to say deal with it. How we can integrate the resistance or maybe reframe the resistance. I like that, reframe. So first and foremost, I want you to know that anxiety and excitement, they register the exact same in your nervous system. This is really important because a lot of the times when you feel resistance in something, it brings anxiety. And like I said before, when your nervous system is in a state of anxiety, you cannot digest. Your organs, they cannot work properly. You can't feel pleasure. So I have a lot of my clients who come to me and they are coming to me for their health issues, but a lot of them have issues in the bedroom, right? And it's because if your nervous system is in a state of anxiety, you cannot feel pleasure. You also, it's really hard to be proud of yourself, right? So say you have resistance to your first event and you're all in anxiety mode, right? But you put the event on, but you can't be proud of yourself. That is real. You are not crazy. Your nervous system can't do both at the same time. You can't feel pleasure and congratulate yourself for what you've done and be in a state of anxiety at the same time. So this is really, really imperative to get a hold on. I hope I'm not frozen. Am I frozen? Okay, there it goes. I'm in the DR, so my internet is a little kooky because it's been raining. So yeah, so that's why it's really important to get this down. So in your nervous system, excitement and anxiety is the same. You don't feel it as the same emotion, but it's the same. I hope I'm not frozen. It says my internet's going out, guys. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Are we good? All right, I'm gonna just keep talking. I hope I'm not frozen. Hold on, let me take this off. See if that helps. Okay, so it didn't. Oh, internet. All right, I'm gonna just keep talking. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can, type it in and let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so when this shows up, you can reframe anxiety into excitement. So say you don't like public speaking, right? So when you are about to go on the stage, your armpits are going to get sweaty, your hands are going to get sweaty, you're going to be feeling anxiety. But all you have to do in this moment is take a deep breath and be like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go on this stage. And what you're doing is you're reframing your nervous system to another state. And it's easy. It sounds like it's so crazy, but it's easy because your nervous system is feeling the exact same thing, right? If you're anxious or you're excited, your nervous system feels the exact same thing. So when you reframe it and say the words out loud to yourself, I'm so excited for my first event. I'm so excited to speak on this stage. I'm so excited for my first 10K month. I'm so excited to give birth to this baby. Like, whatever you're going through, if you reframe it to excitement, your nervous system will kick on and be like, I think I'm excited, you know? And so this is one of the best tools that I find for resistance, because with resistance comes a lot of the times anxiety, right? And so if you can just sit in your seat and tell yourself, right now, I'm excited. I am so excited. Even if you're like skating, I'm excited to skate. If you're anxious about falling, like, you know what, I'm excited to fall. Because we all know when you're skating, as soon as you bust your ass, you get up and you smooth sailing. Everything's good after the fall. Okay? So even if your resistance is in failure, be excited to fail. On the other side of your failure is always success. What do they say? Steve Jobs failed 70 something times or something crazy like that before he was successful. Successful people, they're no different from you. You are a successful person. The only difference between you and Steve Jobs or Oprah or any of these people who you would deem successful is that they were willing to fail and still continue. They were willing to reframe their mindset from one thing to another to get through and push through the resistance. Because we all have resistance. That is literally how um your nervous system and your brain is set up. It's set up for resistance and is there for a reason. But once you learn how to navigate the resistance and push past it, that is when you are literally that's you're in your A game and you're in your bag. Okay, if you can push past the resistance, that's where your success is. Whatever you are desiring in this moment is right on the other side of your resistance. All right, so that's my favorite, my absolute favorite way. I'm sharing it. My absolute favorite way to push past the resistance is to create a situation where your anxiety is your excitement. And literally all you have to do, take a deep breath in this moment and say, I am so excited to do this. And your nervous system will shift to excitement. All right. So another way to push past resistance is I think I went live on the wrong account. Y'all know Mama Roll got 8 billion accounts. She got everything. Am I on this one? I don't know. There we go. Oh, thank you. Now I see your comments. I wasn't seeing them on here, so now I'm on, and I'm glad that you are hearing me. All right, so the second way that you can push past your resistance, all right, is first and foremost, and I skipped this part, but you want to acknowledge it. All right. A lot of the times we go past it, we feel it. And in the acknowledgement, a lot of the times you will find a release. And I'll give you a great example. A couple of weeks ago, I was in a situation where I was just resistant and I was having a tantrum. And like I said, this is normal, guys. Like if you are inside of resistance, it's normal to have a tantrum. All right. So don't beat up on yourself about it. But when I was going through it, I was having the tantrum. I was overreacting to a situation. Now I still believe in exactly how I felt in the situation, but the way I dealt with it and handled it was not okay for me. For other people, fine, but that's not who matters, is how I matter. And so as soon as I acknowledged the resistance and someone else acknowledged it for me, And I sat with her acknowledgement and I cried. I was like, like I cried. And as soon as I let those tears out, the resistance was gone. And I was pushing towards my goal. So that should have been number one. But sometimes all you need to do is acknowledge the resistance, be present with it. Right now, I'm in resistance. And once you acknowledge it, ask yourself why. Why am I being resistant right now? So the reason why I was being resistant was because I was scared that I was fearful that I wasn't capable. And here's the thing. I know I'm capable. You know you're capable. You know that whatever goal you set out to do, you can do it. You know that. You know that. So when you acknowledge the resistance and the why behind the resistance, you can make it all rubbish. Now the resistance can go away because you are in an understanding that what you're thinking is crazy as shit. Of course you can do it. Of course you can go out on a stage and speak to people. Of course you can raise a child. Of course you can put on your first summit. Of course you can do all of these things that you know that you're capable of. Hey Sharon. So once you acknowledge the resistance and you know why it's there, a lot of the times that will dissipate the resistance because now you're like, okay, this doesn't even make sense. All right. So you acknowledge the resistance, figure out why it's there. A lot of times that'll dissipate it. If that doesn't, you can go to a reframe. Instead of being anxious and sitting in anxiety, you can just be like, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to go down this snow slope. I'm so excited to write my first book. I'm so excited to speak on this stage. Excitement and anxiety, they register the exact same in the nervous system. All right. Number 3. All right. Number 3, this is my favorite. This is the hardest of them all, is you lean into the resistance. That means whatever you're resisting, lean into that thing a little bit more. I was resisting asking speakers to be on my summit, right? And so how I leaned into this resistance, I decided to only ask speakers who I didn't really know. I know lots of speakers with lots of qualifications to be on my summit, and I chose not to ask them because I had so much resistance towards asking people to be on my summit. So I was like, you know what? Instead of being comfortable and asking all the people I know who I know would do it, who I know would qualify, I'm going to go talk to strangers. It was crazy. I fucking hated it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I hated it. And when you lean into your resistance, you're gonna hate it too. But let me tell you why this is one of my favorite options. It's because when you lean into your existence, you are now stepping into your leadership. You are empowering yourself. You are busting down walls that you didn't even know were there. And here's the crazy thing, because I didn't know these people and they started to tell me no, it built my confidence. A lot of the times when you lean into the resistance, you'll find more strength and more confidence because you are literally taking it head on. You're like, you know what? I know I'm resisting this, but I'm taking it head on. This battle, I got it. Because you're going to be prepared to go to the war now because you know that you can do it. You know that you can overcome it. And so when you lean into the resistance, you are now stepping into it's so much power in that. A lot of the times when we feel resistance, what we are feeling is a depletion in our power. And so this is my favorite way because I can lean into my power. I'm resisting because I forgot how powerful I am. And so this allows me to step in and lean into my power, and it feels good. I am Sparta. Like it feels like that, literally on the inside. So that's my absolute favorite way. So if you are feeling resistance, know that you can acknowledge it and ask why you were feeling it. And a lot of times that'll dissipate it. If that doesn't, your nervous system feels anxiety and excitement the exact same. So get excited for whatever you're resisting. Be excited for it. I'm excited to speak on this stage. I'm excited for my first project. I'm excited for my book. Oh, get excited. And third, lean into it. Push yourself into whatever you're resisting even farther. And there you will find your empowerment. Know that whatever you're resisting, you are safe and everything is okay. You're supposed to be exactly right where you are. Have compassion and love for yourself. And that alone, my friend, will get you to heights that you cannot even imagine. Oftentimes, we are way too hard on ourselves, and that makes the mountain bigger than what it really is. So lean into your power. All right? I hope you enjoyed that. If you are watching this on replay, type in the chat replay. Let me know if there's anything in your life. What are you resisting right now, and how are you going to implement these so that you can push through your resistance? Let me know. My name is Cherette. I'm a holistic health coach, and I help Black entrepreneurs tap into the language of their brain so that they can create generational health. If you have not, you can go to Instagram and follow me here at Just Be Healthy Now. I have the first ever Black Entrepreneur Health Summit coming up December 27th. So be sure to click the link in my bio and sign up. Because why? Because it's free. It's for the free 99. All you got to do, click the link in my bio, click the first button, and boom, you got access. All right. And I'm doing this specifically on creating healthy habits. So if you have any goal in the new year, you're going to want to be there. We have 10 experts telling us all the tips and tricks on how they create healthy habits and build their business, because y'all know they had a busy life building a business. Okay. So tap into that. I will be back next week, same time and same place on Wellness Wednesday. What's next week? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. It's before Christmas. I didn't know if next week was Christmas. I still would have tuned in. But so we're going to be back next week, same time, same place on Wellness Wednesdays. Tune in and I will see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Every time you show up, it is so sacred to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing energy with me. You have a day full of sunshine because you deserve it. I love you, and I will see you next week. Toodles. Wait, hold up. Mama Ro usually do this, but I'm gonna do it myself. Is it gonna play? My internet sucks. I was trying to do my own outro, but it didn't work. Well, I still will see you next time. Same time and same place on Wellness Wednesday. Toodles.